today was focusing on questions about the Guru that people have sent in. So perhaps, Babaji, the first question would be, what is the meaning of the Guru?
In Sanskrit, the Guru word is used, the ignorance is compared to darkness, and the knowledge, wisdom is compared to light. So, thus, the Guru is the one who dispels the darkness of ignorance and imparts the right knowledge and wisdom about the ultimate truth or self.
Thank you, Babaji. And is it important that the Guru is somebody who is realized, or can it be somebody else?
Of course, it is because when you learn from a master, if that master is an expert who has experienced the truth, then he can impart in the right sense the ultimate truth. Such a master will not compromise in his teachings also, will not just try to please the disciple and talk all sorts of magics and miracles. He will insist upon the disciple to do sadhana, undertake the purushartha. Purushartha means self efforts. That's very, very necessary. So, that is what the real Guru, if he has experienced the truth and is a self realized master, he will be able to teach you about the self realization, give you a clue. So that's how we also prayed since childhood. Oh God, please bless me so that I can find a master who would have liberated himself and can lead me to liberation. So that is the important thing we always pray. That's the importance of Guru.
Thank you. And before you met Swamiji, were there other teachers that you met or read about that inspired you?
Masters I was inspired had already left their bodies, but their teachings created such an amazing impact. The first one was Adi Shankaracharya. Of course, as you all know, through his Bhaja Govindam song, that was the first impact on my childhood mind, to know the secret of death and who is going to die, who is going to be born. All these things started coming to my mind, and about happiness all the time. And if at all we are that soul that is eternal, why is that I am not consciously aware? So this point bothered me. So thus, a little bit I read. I didn't want to become a big scholar of going very deeply into Adi Shankara teachings or anybody. Just wanted to take some clues. What am I supposed to do to achieve that truth? So thus I was inspired. And other than that, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, his great tapas, his devotional path, and his tapas and the non-duality that he taught, both inspired me very much, and that's beautiful. His personality itself was very inspiring. Things like he was mad after God, and afterwards also he used to tell people cry for the objects of this world. How many are ready to cry for God? So this created great impact on me. And then Ramana Maharshi of Tiruvannamalai in South India, who taught from the point of inquiry about who am I actually. So that also very much inspired. And the type of meditation, though he didn't talk particularly about the word, used the terminology of meditation, but he exactly recommended that's what you have to do. Like to a great scholar once explaining what is the real tapas and also what is the real repetition of a mantra, both, he said. Like if you are chanting a mantra, see from where the mantra is arising, that source of the mantra. You try to focus on that, your mind. Observe. So when you observe, eventually your mind will get absorbed into the truth from where that mantra itself arising. Thereby, the mantra will dissolve, it will stop, a silence will come. And for tapas also he has advised, so observe from where the I is coming, that feeling is coming to you. Like I keep talking, amongst the millions of thoughts, you have the consciousness of existence. That is what is I. Observe that one, keenly observe. And then the mind will get absorbed into that truth, ultimate truth. So these things were impressive. For a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, I think, just before I met Swamiji, in a cave on the Chamundi hills on the outskirts of Mysore city, I practiced this also for a while. And afterwards, it happened that I met Swamiji and I got initiated by him officially. And then I practiced that what Swamiji taught. So that's how these are the three great masters whom I was very much inspired.
Thank you, Babaji. And when you met Swamiji, what was it about Swamiji that caused you to just fall in love and surrender? Was there something you could explain?
It's quite difficult even now. I saw him, I think that glow, that amazing vibrations, so which is inexplicable. Only anybody who would have experienced will understand, will know. So that simply attracted. Like we saw in those days, people got simply attracted. They used to go into big trance and start dancing. Genuinely, they used to be simply immersed in their own selves, like close the eyes and keep dancing, and got attracted to Swamiji's. Thousands and millions, in lakhs people came to him. I think probably the same thing when I saw Swamiji. The big car came, he was sitting inside the car with a lion cloth on the back side, and his lips were emanating a small smile type. Then he saw hundreds had gathered, and he came out and stood. Then people were catching him from both hands, because it was quite difficult for him to stand or walk when crowds would fall on him. So I got a chance, I was close to him. Suddenly I caught hold of one of the left hands him, and nobody objected, and I walked with Swamiji to inside the hall. So from then onwards, until he left in the car again after a couple of hours, I was just watching him. That's what now also I just insist. Watch the space in between eyebrows. Watch, just watch. Repeatedly I keep telling. So I just had fallen in love, and the eye had gone. He was sitting there for a couple of hours. Another important point I'd like to tell. After that program, 1 hour, they washed his feet, the hosts, and they chanted some Vishnu Sahasranama and Rudra Abhisheka part, all the things. I was watching Swamiji, I hardly heard about them. Then people were allowed to come near him, touch his feet, and go through another door. I quickly sneaked on the right side of Swamiji. His mother was also sitting. Next to her, I went and stood there and just watching Swamiji and repeating that mantra that had come in my dream of Om Shivaya, Shiva Bala Yogendraya, Parabrahmanaya. I was immersed in that and watching him. The person who had taken me there as old devotee of Swamiji, he was bewildered and he was looking for me. Where have I disappeared? He thought I might have left bored or something else has happened. So he was looking for me, and he came in the queue in the end. to touch Swamiji's feet. Then he saw, then he called me, come and touch Swamiji's feet. It is very rare opportunity. He said, I can do that later. You please go out. Let me keep standing here. At that moment, more than touching Swamiji's feet, I just wanted to watch him. So that was the beauty. I had fallen in love. And then again, Swamiji stood up after the darshan was over. The first he walked, and I also walked with him, and he sat inside the car, and he just glanced at me once, and then he turned his eyes here and there. Others were falling on him. I just stood there watching him, and the car left. So I was also gone in my mind, in my consciousness. That's it. And all I could tell my mother, I want Swamiji. More than that, I could not explain anything else. After that, I never looked back. I never consulted anybody. I had no doubt. I didn't even ask Swamiji, what am I supposed to do? What should I do? All these doubts generations ask. I never asked that. I want to go to Swamiji. I want Swamiji. That was all. Whether with Swamiji, whether with my mother, whether for 3 years I stayed, it was unwavering. So that was how I just fallen in love with Swamiji.
Thank you, Babaji. Before you actually met him, you heard a voice in a marketplace. You were looking for a temple, and you heard a voice directing you and telling you that Swamiji was your guru. Can you explain about that?
Twice it happened. The first it happened in that temple complex of Lord Hanuman in front of my house. So every day at 4 o'clock I used to enter that one, just 2 minutes opposite to our house where I was staying in Mysore. And I used to go around talking to all the idols there, Ganesha, Kartikeya, and then 9 planets, all those things, and Hanumanji himself. With Hanumanji, I would converse. One day you must come in front of me physically. Don't keep standing like a stone like this. This is total nonsense. I would like you to come, like all such nonsense things I used to keep talking to him. That's when, and sit down also, and then contemplate about the soul. Why is that I am not aware? When will I become aware? I need a guru who would have liberated, who would have experienced, and who can lead me. Who can lead me? I didn't simply ask for a spoon feeding, who can give me? I used to pray, these are the sentence came, who can lead me to liberation? So that's when one day I heard in my ear, Shiva Bala Yogi is your guru, you will get everything from him. These were the 2 sentences I remembered. Then I opened my eyes and just looked around. There was nobody. Nobody was there, and I was wondering who it could be who had whispered this to me. That was it. I remembered the name Shiva Bala Yogi. This is an amazing wonder, impossible to explain. Ki only probability is some previous life connection which I never remembered, which we had forgotten then also. So that probably gave this experience. And Shiva, Bala, Yogi, these 3 words were there. So next 2-3 days, I went around. I didn't talk to anybody. I thought if I tell anybody, they might make fun of me, that I am imagining a yogi unnecessarily because I wanted a guru. So then 2-3 days I went around to all the temples that I used to go every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like Shiva, Kartikeya and Hanuman, Krishna. Everywhere I used to go, Lord Venkateshwara. I visited all the temples. My idea was that maybe somebody there who would have whispered into my ears would see me, come to me and tell more details about Shiva Bala Yogi. But nothing happened in the temple. I was walking in the market to go to another temple. That was when I heard the whisper again. You go to Saint Raghavendra's Mutt, and there you will know about your Guru. Saint Raghavendra, who lived about 350 years ago in the northern part of Karnataka, he has great temples all over India, particularly in south, very well known. People flock into his actual place of samadhi, so they go there. So then I rushed to the temple of Raghavendra Swami, and there the Krishna's story was being narrated by a priest. Katha Vachaks, we tell, the storytellers, priests. I just sat there. That was very interesting, Lord Krishna's story. So I just got attracted. After the end of the story, all there people sitting were all old age people, 80 years, 70 years plus. I was the only one with 15 or 16-year-old at that age, So that old man came. He told, why are you sitting here? Have you fought with your parents? Have you run away from home? People don't come and sit to listen to God's stories at this young age. So I'm surprised. I said, nothing like that. I'm looking for a Shiva Balayogi. Is it really, does he exist like that? Or was it only some dream-like experience for me? He said, no, Shiva Balayogi is in Bangalore. He has an ashram. He is my guru. And he took me home and gave Swamiji's small life history book also, and a Mahabharata commentary on Mahabharata by somebody. I was not interested in Mahabharata at that time. I was very much interested to see Swamiji. His small book was published first, and all the beautiful photos that were so attractive. It would give you a trance, a bhava samadhi within itself. Such powerful glow in photo also was there, which is even today when I see, I can keep watching Swamiji's photo of his young ages. That's why even anywhere, even in my trust also, Bangalore Ashram, one day I was talking in the board meeting, I insisted, please don't make the nonsense idols of Swamiji's old age. Whenever you want to make an idol, get an idol done, his young age of 70s and early 80s at the most, but the 70s and 60s are the best ones. Do make only for any meditation hall, any worship. Otherwise, it is no use. It will look like some old sage, something like that. Those people who wouldn't have seen him physically, they won't understand. So anybody who would have seen him physically, their mind will immediately reject. Definitely, that is the one. So I read Swamiji's story also, and I was getting totally falling down on him as photos watching. So then, after finishing that, I went to give back that book. He told, did you read the Mahabharata? Okay, I didn't get time, I am giving you back, some other time I can read. I read Shiva Balayogi. He said, yes, Swamiji is coming to Mysore city on a public program to give darshan. You also come to see him. See, I remember February, it was 5th, I think he gave me that book. It was a Sunday in 1971. Sunday, I very well remember. So, on Sunday, I took the book, and after reading 2 days, I took back that book on Wednesday to return to him. Then he told, Friday, Swamiji is coming. Friday also I remember. And it was Thursday that I got the dream where I saw Swamiji and the mantra he is given. So that's how I just happened with Swamiji. That's the experience, the first time that I had, and subsequently I got the dream also. Though in my talks or teachings I have never encouraged for any dreams, because people getting so many nonsense dreams, I don't want to interpret simply. If it is a very positive dream which can attract you, means, in my opinion here, technologically or scientifically, if any vision or any such dream, any such experience in sound or sight, you must become transformed. Your life must change. It will not be the same after that if it is a real experience, like it happened to me. I was not the same after I heard about Shiva Balayogi and read his book, and then happened to see him, had that dream in which he gave the mantra also. So my life was not same again. I was totally changed, wanting Swamiji, like that. Then, as I explained, I happened to meet him, and then I told my mother, I have found him, I am going. That's it. I didn't ask for any advice or no consultation. I had decided, that was done. So that was the day, and till now, no looking back. It's only Swamiji. If at all our body is alive today and we are able to do the mission work, teaching Swamiji's teachings and creating awareness for meditating, that is the guru-disciple relationship. More than the guru, it is the disciple who has to adopt and attracted to the guru. That's what Swamiji used to tell. Like whenever he initiated, we initiated as a friend. We don't claim to be gurus. But if you want me to be your guru, then I am ready to help you. I am ready to guide you. If it appeals to you, if you think that it is worthy to adopt me as a guru, so that is the Guru Parampara. Like I adopted Swamiji. Though it is the grace of Swamiji, he had adopted me, but in Purushartha, in our efforts, in work, in our temperament, it was all the previous lives, samskaras, and since childhood that we chanted with such concentration which gave so much of peace, and then the meditation became so easy.
Thank you. So often we ask you, what is the role of the guru? But I want to ask, what is the role of the disciple? Because you and Swamiji have thousands of what we would call disciples or devotees. But what makes a disciple a good disciple?
Faith and devotion, these two are the weapons. You take, you practice, you cultivate, and naturally it must come to you. Never looking back. No power on the earth. Even if God or the Guru himself wants to test you, you shall not look back. You have adopted him as a Guru and you have taken the path, you are going to go for that. So whoever tries to dissuade you, confuse you, brainwash you, talk to you other ways, or in any ways confuse you, tempt you for other things, nothing should be disturbing you. You have adopted and you have adopted. It's your Guru, it's your Guru. Afterwards, anybody, any monks, anybody talking, nothing. It's our Guru. That is the first important thing for a disciple that is needed. That is the real surrender mentally. Once he surrenders, then whatever obstacles come, every obstacle will be an opportunity for you to become more determined. Like even after that 20 years when I came to ashram, whenever Swamiji would have tested, it didn't appear, he did not announce that I am going to test you. He just behaved in his own way, whatever he wanted to behave. He behaved, and the surroundings were all like that only. But nothing disturbed my mind. It was one on the way. Just watch Swamiji, and I used to become more determined. Now, Swamiji, you are testing me or you want to disturb me, you are doing injustice, anything. But now I am going to love you more. You cannot make me not to love you. You don't have it in your power. That much of that power had come in the mind. That's how I used to talk to myself and go on like that. That has to be the attitude of a disciple. Even if the master cuts you into pieces, you join and come back to him. Do or die.
And how important is it to have a guru? Some people don't have a guru. Can they achieve realization in spite of that?
See, a guru does not mean that it has to be physically available. But I have always told, if there is a physical guru who is a self-realized master, that is like a bonus. You see, because in this world's dimension, in the physical body, you are used to talking and listening and watching. For these three things, if a physical self-realized master is available, That's wonderful. He will teach you in several ways, not simply by talking meditation or talking spirituality. He might be getting annoyed with you, he might make you irritated, he might neglect you, and he might not bother about you. You may have to undergo so many tests around him, but he might affectionately again talk to you also. Anyway, that can happen. So, all these are like a bonus. In spite of that, if a physical guru is not available, if they have not feeling inclined, if they have become inspired from inside, that is also a guru. Actually, the source of knowledge, source of that self experience, coming from the self only. When you close the eyes, finally, that is the inner guru, that your mind has to merge with the self. That is the important thing. Like Ramana Maharshi, what he experienced about the death, he was lying in the room and he experienced, now I am dead by closing the eyes. Now my relatives will take this body and they will cremate this one. But what will happen to me? He thought. So that's I am going to be always be there. I don't think they can carry me or put into fire. They are going to put to fire only this body. So he became aware of that and left home and finally went and did tapas in Tiruvannamalai. So there was no physical guru available, no vision, nobody came in front of me, he has not spoken. He just spoke about self, he dreamt about self, he was in the self, abiding in the self was spoken. Like that it can happen, but it might be rare cases, rarest of rare cases. But if you can obtain a self-realized physical guru, that is also equally rarest of rare opportunity. Not every day, not everywhere, not in every corner. Though you get to see our interview in the Buddha at the gas pump, is maybe it's possible, but it's not easy. It's a very rare. You need to have a previous life's fortune, samskaras. You must be blessed in that way. You would have done some sadhana. Then only such a guru also is available. Where hundreds and thousands don't go, only one or two or three people might be sitting who are really interested in spirituality, who are really interested in magics, who come for 100,000 people. They won't get anything there. They will just get to see a man with a beard, an old man sitting and laughing and eating like anybody else. And they will go away because they won't notice any vibrations, nothing. Their mind is not ready, ripe yet to catch those vibrations. So that's the thing. This is my opinion.
Thank you, Babaji. I've heard you say that there's a saying, don't get too close to the guru, but don't get too far away from the guru. Can you explain what that means?
This is the reason Swamiji also used to tell, that Vedavyasa has told, he used to tell, because if you go too close, your mind can get disturbed, because you will get to see a yogi also behaving like any other ordinary man, joking, talking, sometimes gossiping, or depending on the nature of the guru. And he might be behaving like an ordinary man. So if you had so many imaginations what a guru is, oh, he must be having these magical powers, that these type of things, so then you are likely to get confused. That's why it is advised, don't go too close if your mind is not strong. Not if your mind is strong, then you can go any close. You won't bother whatever Swamiji did. We never bothered because we simply loved him. Not that we went to him seeing any quality. There was no need of quality. Remember, I have told when my mother asked, what do you mean by you want Swamiji? What do you know about a yogi, whether he is genuine or not? What is the ashram, its atmosphere? I said, see, I don't know whether he is a real yogi or a badmash, whatever it is. What I know is I have fallen in love with him. I will never regret. Whatever is the atmosphere in the ashram, I will never regret, I will adjust, I will manage, just send me mom. So that's what I told my mother. It came very spontaneously to me, that word. So that was it. So that's how we never got disturbed by any of his Swamiji's behavior or anything that was happening. We saw so many devotees coming, so many devotees who were close to him, sitting with him, gossiping, and they scolded and they used wrong language to him and went away from him. Everything we saw. I used to wonder for what purpose these people came closer to him. What is their mind? This was all. They never loved Swamiji. That's what I used to think. If you loved, you will never feel disturbed. So that is why it is recommended, if your mind is weak, if it is likely to become confused, have doubts, then don't go too close to him. Just do the sadhana, what he recommends, maintain a middle distance, because if you go away from him too much, if you get attracted to other groups, entertainments, time pass, friends brainwashing, all sorts of nonsense things keep happening, then your mind will deviate from the path. You will get attracted and eventually you will get sucked into worldly life. You will lose that vital spiritual force that is within you. So if you are not going to be courageous and determined, you are likely to lose, and you may forget about the Guru itself. And the Guru also, his mind is in natural samadhi. So unless you tap the energies, you ask a question, answer will come. If you don't ask, nothing will come. So you may not understand the Guru at all, and you may lose the path. So that is why don't go too far away, don't go too close. If your mind is not strong, then stay in the middle distance. If your mind is strong, you can kiss him, nothing happens.
Thank you, Babaji. So this concept of surrender, many people get frightened by the idea of surrendering to the Guru, because it leaves them very vulnerable to some cases of abuse by a fake Guru. Is there any way that somebody can guard themselves or identify a true Guru from one that's not true?
Say, first thing, a disciple need to be sincere and know what he or she needs. That is important. Like when you want only self-realization, spiritual truths, you will not compromise. Very soon your eyes will catch what the Guru is. So you will try to see only such thing in the Guru, and you will learn the spirituality only. You won't bother about anything. Surrender doesn't mean that you have to become a slave. Not that. The Guru wants you to marry, you marry. Guru doesn't want you to marry, so you don't marry. Not like that. All such decisions must be yours. You want to marry, you tell the Guru you want to marry. You don't want to marry, you tell the Guru you don't want to marry. No Guru can force you, no power can force you. You want to be a monk, you tell the Guru you want to be a monk. You tell the Guru you want only self-realization. So that's what Swamiji also used to teach, even if God comes in front of you and offers the whole universe, everything, refuse. You tell that I want you, God only. I don't want whatever you can give. That is not important. I want you only. So a disciple, if a disciple is such sincere person, he can never get cheated. No power can cheat. God will help him. God will guide him to the sincere, right Guru. Such people will never get attracted to fake gurus who talk colorfully, who try to show some powers and magics, try to attract, who claim, oh, I am the incarnation, I have this power, you are already realized, you don't have to do anything, and I will give you everything. If anybody talks like that, don't believe them. Only such a Guru who tells, you have to do the sadhana. Your self-efforts, Purushartha is important. That is the real Guru. That's what Swamiji's words I used to hear from him. Based on that, I'm conveying my opinion also. A real Guru is the one who will train the disciple to stand on his or her own feet He will not bind the student like a client to his legs. That is not the surrender. Surrender means mentally you surrender so that you don't entertain any doubts, confusions, which could be death for you, disturbing for you. Do the sadhana, what he says, and then you get to see the truth. That's what our Guru always, Swamiji said, practice meditation and know the truth to yourself. You meditate and know, then you will know what it is, what the truth is.
One of the questions is, can somebody follow more than one guru, or is it best to have just the one guru?
You see, for the generally present generation, I would recommend follow one guru, because mentally people are very weak. Different gurus might be using different terminologies, different language, culturally, different type of things. That could be confusing for people who are not mentally strong. But if they are mentally strong, no matter wherever they go, whichever guru they go, they will see their own guru in them also. If you have fallen in love with one guru, you will see the same guru in another guru also. Your mind, and you will never get confused. Whatever that guru teaches, even if the terminology are different, you will quickly understand the same thing our guru told in a different way. That is all. Like we read Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna, Adi Shankara, then met Swamiji, accepted him as a guru. Now when he told, Swamiji spoke, and when we experience in the tapas, we know that the same thing Ramana has told and Ramakrishna has told and Adi Shankara has told. You meditate and read Viveka Chudamani and you read my commentary on Viveka Chudamani, the same things we have told and what he has told many times. Many times others endorse. Like Ambaji, if she would have read a book, she will endorse, yes, Babaji, what you are telling has been told by Ramana Maharshi also in a slightly different way, that is all. So like one will never get confused. But if your mind is weak, you are likely to get confused. Just stick to one type of sadhana, one type of guru. That is the recommendation and my opinion. Generally, there is no harm if you can go to any number of gurus. But you careful about your own mind. You be strong. Don't allow it to become confused. Then you will be dragged nowhere.
So, as you said, it's important to surrender to the guru and be devoted and faithful. But for many people, they're already perhaps married, maybe have family and commitments. How can somebody in that situation follow a guru properly?
It is possible. You see, time is plenty if we can work out like working out the budget time, working out the time. 24 hours are there. You take out for 1 hour, you take out for 2 to 3 hours. The rest of the thing you be with the family. You work for the family. If you are married, means once you have adopted a way of life, follow that one, follow the responsibilities. But if you are not married, you are lucky, you can think, you can consider not to get involved in the family. That is another recommendation. But even those who are already married, who want to be with their family, there is no harm, no problem. Finally, it is the individual's choice, So you can take out time in the midst of family. Because you are a family man, you are not going to go for a wedding ceremony of a friend, of a relative. You won't tell that, I am a married man, I cannot come to the wedding ceremony. You will take out time and go and enjoy drinking, punking, everything. You take out time for so many hundreds of things, going for recreations. You don't say that, I am a family man, I cannot travel to another city. You will take holiday, you take out time, you want to go for a picnic. But only when it comes to meditation, I am a family man, how can I meditate? All these nonsense excuses are given. You are family man, nobody bothers, it's okay. You are a family man, what's wrong in it? Nobody is going to hang you. Come on, take out 1 hour and sit for meditation and then attend to your family. While during meditation, Don't remember what you are in this world. Don't try to remember whether you are a wealthy businessman, whether you are a married man, whereas you are a married woman. You are just a soul. Just watch. That is the determination which can take you through.
So some people who are married or have family, their partner or their family may disapprove of their spiritual practice or even disapprove of their guru. That's a difficult situation. Have you any guidance how they can handle that situation?
See, whatever I did, based on that only I can give my opinion and advice. Spiritual path is such, it is like that when you are born, you did not wait for the approval of your family or parents or anybody. You are born. And when you die also, you won't wait for anybody's approval. Whether death is approved by your wife, partner, or your family people, you will die, the body will die. So the world is also going. It doesn't wait for anybody's approval. Whether anybody approves or not, nothing will happen. In the same way, if it is self-realization, if it is spiritual truth, if it is supreme peace that you are looking for, if it is contentment that you are looking for, don't wait for anybody's approval. Don't even wait for God's approval, your Guru's approval, let alone your partner or family. You just take up, keep walking. That is important. Then only you can achieve. If I was waited, oh, let my brother come, my uncle also come with me, my aunt comes and my mother comes, my grandfather comes, my great grandfather comes, only then I will go to Swamiji and Shiva Bal Yogi. Otherwise it is not easy for me to go. It is very difficult. Oh, I may not be able to come. I am so confused. Oh, Swamiji, what to do? Now 67 years, I wouldn't have come to Swamiji. I would have been broken teeth and arthritis, heart failures and back pain, cannot think of anything spiritually, would have been confused, crying, oh, I wasted all my life, now it is 67 years. 67 years I am here as a yogi because I just got up and walked. I knew I need it. So nobody else go with you. When you are in trouble, when you pick up an illness and go to hospital, will anybody come with you? You will wait for somebody's approval. Only if my partner approves, then only I will go to hospital and get a treatment. When you are hungry, when you have to eat, you will wait an approval from your partner or family people. Only then you will eat. Everything in the world you do whatever you want and you don't wait for your approval. When you want to go to friends and into a group, you won't wait for anybody's approval. Why do you wait for anybody's approval if you want self-realization? If you want the ultimate truth and the supreme peace and the contentment, it is yours. It is your right to be happy at all times, your existence right. You work for it.
Thank you, Babaji. Just so inspiring. So, can I ask perhaps a slightly different question? What is God?
A little bit of clue I will tell, though it may be inconclusive or not possible 100%. What is recognized as a God for a specific reasons. In the ancient times, Gayatri Mantra is one of the most ancient mantras composed by Vishwamitra. If we try to understand the simple meaning, when they experienced the truth, he had done tapas and he experienced the self, he merged with the self. To tell that one, it is spread in all directions. On this earth, above the earth, below the earth. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swaloka, different worlds. worlds above this earth, worlds below this earth, world on this universe, everywhere. It is spread. And they called Tattva for that God, which you are asking a question, what is God? First, when they experienced, that was such an awesome thing, wonderful, amazing. They simply could address it as that. When they were used to talk, they used to talk as addressing talk. They didn't even address God. Oh, that is like this, that is like that. It is all pervading. It is in itself. It is the Almighty. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. That is divine in nature, which can give us supreme peace and happiness if we adopt the remembrance or observance or meditation of that truth in our minds. That is why it is divine in nature. It can give us supreme peace. It can wash away our unhappiness and sins. That is two important things that were told when Swamiji told these two words, supreme peace by washing away all sins. Then he explained, sins means not the sins that this world has adopted. It is our false selfishness of male or female or anybody who does it. Some people adopt one set of justice for themselves, one set of justice for others. That is not sin. Here a sin means the more you go away from your real self and forget your real self. That is, sin means a grave mistake. We can take like that. If not the sin words, we can use it, a grave mistake you do by forgetting about yourself. When you go out of the home, if you forget to return to home and if you forget about your home, that's a grave mistake. You can be putting yourself into an ugly situation. That sin will be washed away. You will remember yourself. You will know yourself. You will be able to abide in your real self. That is why that is to be recognized as divine. That is what is God. So now, another sentence, mind. Your mind is infinite. Infinite means you cannot see it in naked eyes. Nobody has seen it in naked eyes. Only based on thoughts and visions, you recognize your mind. My mind wants to do this, my mind wants to think this. But if you get to observe in meditation, when you are able to get rid of all thoughts and visions and just that consciousness of existence is there, then that infinite you will be able to experience. You will know that. That infinity, if it is like a droplet of the ocean, that infinite's ultimate truth, supreme, which is simply all pervading as supreme consciousness. That's why we tell this space is not simply a wide place, it is a supreme consciousness in which the entire universe, all the worlds, everything exists. That's why Vedas tell the divine is holding the creation in its womb. Because in Kathopanishad it says a beautiful sentence, when the divine wanted to create, imagine, there was nothing else other than the divine, all pervaded. No other raw material was available. So within himself, here if I am using himself, please don't imagine a human or a man figure. Just that word comes by practice only. It is beyond that. It is supreme consciousness created in itself. Just like your mind imagines, and the thing, character, stories, everything appears within the mind. The mind is holding that. So that mind's ultimate truth is what is known as God. Got it?
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
May you all be blessed. All my love and blessings to all of you. Deeply appreciate all your participation, that you all could be here, this wonderful session. All the questions that you have sent through are wonderful, very meaningful, that which has brought some meaningful answers. I hope to you all. Follow that, observe, adopt in your life. Be strong. Don't become weak. Mentally be strong. When you want that, go for that. Never bother for anything else. other things will automatically come. May you all be blessed by our Divine Guru.